Stream looks excellent, it says. Okay, cool. Hello, this is the Luminaries Eclipse channel. It's alive. You're going to hear some tones in the background. That is... I'll just show you. That is... Not that. The other one. And that is... these tones. Sedona anomalies. This is the healing tones. The Eastern scale, apparently. The Vedic scale. So, 7th chakra. Sahasrara. Crown chakra. Anja, brow chakra. 5th, Vishuddha, throat chakra. 4th, Anahata, heart chakra. 3rd, solar plexus. The sun tone. 2, Mudra, navel chakra. I chose 233.33. First, Muladhara, root chakra, tone of the earth, stay, supposedly. But I also have, sort of sounding funny, my original file might have got corrupted, but I had Schumann runs. It seemed to be playing at a higher pitch. But there's Schumann there, but there is also... I just 33 hertz and adjusting all by your increasing the all right. This is the frickin' full moon in Sagittarius transit that I'm covering 5 days ahead of time. Ish. Yes. The new goal, trying to get the Astros out at least 5 days before the new and full moons. So yeah, the sun will be at Gemini 2, moon Sagittarius 2. Seeing those 55s there. In the minutes, I guess they would call it. Mercury 11, another master number. Venus, Taurus, 29, master Taurus. So yes, this is mostly about the abundance. I'm going to reference this in part 2 of the upcoming Luminaries Eclipse podcast. But yeah, we got the master 29 here of Venus conjunct Jupiter 29 on a Monday, 9:53 a.m. So yeah, this entire age of Pisces, it's like earthy abundance that it's had. It's shifting into a new paradigm. This is like the time capsule I was referencing today. This Saturday was Sun conjunct Jupiter also. So this is when I'm filming it for this other 29 transits. So yeah, in this chart, the sun is no longer, it'll be in Gemini. But yeah, this is like where you want to have your overall philosophical like shadow work sorted out, so that you are taking on the new like Age of Aquarius, like Pluto Aquarius form of abundance, which is not, it's just metaphysics, it's natural metaphysics. This whole transhumanism, crypto, non-tangible, I mean, the definition of money is that it has to be physical. So like, we're not going to have this airy magic money. You know, the magic money of the Age of Aquarius is going to be the metaphysics of the like free energy devices and the no more power companies, and you know, so we can like validly not take on the mark of the beast and sort of just purge out, however you want to take that, useless oligarch eaters like Noah Yuval Harari, who calls everyone else useless eaters. These crazy people at the like WEF and the UN. I'm going to just leave it at that. But that is the false masculine fallen version of Aquarius that we're, anybody touting that stuff, they are outing themselves as the cancer to humanity. So, but you know, the new Age of Aquarius is about humanism, not transhumanism, which the word trans in their Egyptian like religion doesn't mean cool, it means death. Trans means death, like kill that. Transition, you know, like the 8th house, transition it or kill it or turn it into a mummy. Like that is what transhumanism actually means. So don't want to do that. That is fallen, artificial Age of Aquarius, false masculine, I'll call it. Faux humanitarianism, faux iconoclast, faux philanthropy, faux philanthropy. We don't want this. I want these falsy poopy pants things. Okay, moving on. Mars is at 17. I like that. To me, that's a very almost Aquarian, Uranian degree. This 1 and the 7. I think it's the moon card, star card. I forget which one 17 is, but in tarot. Look it up, boils and ghouls. Saturn is at 15 Pisces. Yes, that 29. It's so magical having that Venus and that 29. And that Jupiter at 29. This is like Walt Disney. This is being able to plot out your Walt Disney. So although everything feels magically sleepy and you don't want to do anything, you're just lazy as hell, like you're just cows being fed for the slaughter. Remember that you want to make a time capsule and remember this time and how things are and how the structure is, and everything's going to change from here on out and be radically different. But you want to kind of time capsule the easygoing, relaxed nature of this time for the next 6 years, because it's going to get rough. So get together with friends, plan accordingly, you know, but in your own space, like kind of have like your 1776 sort of continental congresses that you secretly have with your buddies on, like, you know, going and moving out into the sticks and getting off grid and stuff like that. This is all the sort of future reality everybody wants to be making sure they're planning for. Unfortunately, let's see, sorry, I'll move this over a little bit. Yeah, but yeah, it's crazy Astro, and crazy people want to do crazy things during it and hijack it and turn it into duties, because We'll talk about it. We talked about it in the last podcast, but it all goes back to John Dee, Sir John Dee, Queen Elizabeth's astrologer / magician, and Sir Francis Bacon that whole time period, with probably the inventing of Shakespeare. I think that John Dee, Tolkien also thought that John Dee was Shakespeare, the real Shakespeare. But there's also documentaries about a Society of the Helmet and it being multiple authors in this secret society that were Shakespeare. Okay, so I'm saying the magical numbers. 23. So DNA and Martian link. There's 23 days on Mars. Or 23 hours on a day. Point something on Mars. Neptune is also at 9 degrees. So yeah, there's this like... There was the sextiles between Jupiter and Taurus. I'm sorry, Jupiter in Taurus and Pisces, Neptune and Pisces. That was happening. It was like it's still partially happening. But the new like story coming online here this week is going to be Pluto and Aquarius are partially trining Jupiter at 29 there at the end. So this is just a very benefic week, especially with all the Tauran and Venusian stuff and the Jupiterian stuff, the benefics especially. Yeah, the moon during this will also be in a partial trine to Neptune, it looks like. So we got 2 partial trines, 1/3 of a trine between, looks like Mars. Well, there's a conjunction here. All these are like within 5 degrees and 7 degrees. Mars in the 11th to the collective and expanding it. So masculine male energy structure, progress in the collective 11th house, transhumanism also, unfortunately, in the fallen negative form, but it's humanitarianism. On the real, like humanity waking up, it's Jupiter and Mars that's like super key, and in a trine with Pluto, with brain. The brain using knowledge of the subconscious and healing, Pluto with knowledge in the 7th house of justice and diplomacy. But in the solar charts, this is all happening in the 12th house with Mars and no, sorry, I keep saying Mars. It's Venus and Jupiter. It's not Mars. Sorry about that. It's the feminine and the benefic happy in the 11th house, but also the 12th house. So spirituality, solar. We're getting that because the sun is in Gemini, and that becomes the 1st house in solar astrology. So I'm decoding the matrix as we speak, and I have a visual for it after. But so yeah, algal. We got a whole like conjunction here between Uranus, algal, Jupiter, and Venus in the 11th house, like I said, of humanitarianism, but in the solar, it's also the 12th, endings, absolution, death, total transformation. So yeah, Jupiter and Venus are making the turn, and this is like a last magical week, and then everything's going to be dark and bad until like 2026 as far as there being a real abundance. It'll change. So you just want to emotionally time capsule this period because right after this super happy, like almost euphoric burnout of optimism with Jupiter and Venus there, really remember that in your time capsule, because Venus is about to go into shadow and become the evening star. So she's going to be poopy pants again for like probably another fucking 6 months or some bullshit. Fucking hate fucking dark Venus cycles. Oh my fucking god. I have so much Libra. I just hate that shit. It just sucks. For a guy, it's just nothing's fun or beautiful. And that's like really what real men care about. I mean, that's what men are chasing, right? Well, if you have a real penis and like a real brain and like, you know, pardon my sexuality aside, you know, like, what do you want? You want the beautiful and you want the fun as a man, as a real man, right? Isn't that what the like divine masculine would want in its life? Is fun and beauty, right? Just friggin' wine and grapes and friggin' sensuality, right? And beauty, and just focusing on the beauty and how can we reproduce the beauty. I don't understand this world and how it doesn't do that enough. So this week's burning, a beautiful, bright, burning, like remembering hope star that is transitioning through this week with and adding hope to that star. I say Pluto is sextiling it, adding some mental optimism and seventh house justice, diplomacy, but that in solar is really the ninth house of Jupiter. So it's adventure. So you get justice and things by going big and hard and venturous and like higher learning, like going to your master's level. That's how you pull off the actual Earth value time capsule through this age of dehumanization that was hijacked. It was going to be the humanization. There's a parasite like split like at every age shift, some fucking fallen thing trying to smash and destroy the upward projection. So we're gonna have to fight through some mRNA blood clots, and however we're gonna shed that out of our bodies with magnets or who knows. That's when we survive these parasitic transhumanist weirdos. In the end, we'll all be Virgo-y, Aquarian, alternative health masters of figuring out how to Reiki out like these nanobots like from our body with crystals and fucking like amethyst and fluorite. And Reiki and portal science. So that's where we're gonna eject all these weirdos with portal science. So yeah, this is like square. This is Sextile Fest and Trine Fest. So yeah, Venus and even Algol in there. Like I've been feeling it for like last week. It's Algol for me is seeing evil and not losing your head over some evil fuck's agenda. That's what Algol's about. Don't lose your head. Don't let any outside third party, Perseus, fucking Neptune-y, rapey mother effers like steal your fucking destiny. Don't let them cut your head off and steal, turn them to fucking stone, these fucking clowns. Turn them to stone before they cut your head off and rape you like they did to Medusa, who is Algol. Don't let them do that to you. Make you the fucking monster. Throw their fucking projection baggage on you. So this is the end of all that shit. like no more of that fucking gaslight projectionists over the top psycho like Hillary Clinton type shit. No more killing Chris Cornell. Happy deathversary to Chris Cornell this last week. 2017. She just, you know, all those guys, Bourdain, all them. And there's a DJ too. They were all gonna make a anti-pedophile doc, and then she just whacked all of them. And she probably killed Robin Williams too. That was tied to the Getty death. The guy all this started with the guy who owned the Getty, who got a statue shoved up his butt, like, and killed, and the fucking police said suicide. Oh, the stream is not for kids. I make sure I did that in the settings. But anyway, maybe I'm whatever. Maybe I'm not all, yeah. Just the metaphor, the idea, it's the thought that counts with Hillary, It's just people, judge you because you statistically have a death record around you that's impossible. People are going to judge you for that, and that's not fair to the Clintons, I guess. Don't judge me. Don't let, sympathy for the devil, they say. Sympathy for the devil. Woo-hoo! Not them. Okay, I'm rambling now. So, having this many trines, I mean, basically, Venus is trining Pluto, so is Jupiter, basically so is Algol, basically so is Uranus. Uranus is also basically still sextiling Neptune. That one could be more of a square now. I'm sorry, but Jupiter is still sextiling Neptune. That's a really, really positive one. It's not as strong as it was, but basically, there's no excuse on like the all-time manifestation of like everything. If you paid attention and did the right thing for your life, your whole life, now you will be reaping the benefits this week. Everything will transform. All the timeline of what value is going to change. So all the fake currency that, like I said, it has to be physical. All this fake bullshit currency is going to disappear. And people who have integrity, all that's going to be left are the people that have integrity, that did the right thing, and then there's going to be like murderous oligarchs with flamethrower DARPA dogs, which are legal in Ohio. Like that's all that's going to be left is the people that warned you about all this, and then the people that are going to force you into the mark of the beast. Like I accidentally during the last 2-year transit, Capricorn, Pluto went over my 27-degree ascendant Capricorn, and I almost died, and I got mRNA boosts in me accidentally while I had copper poisoning, and I have Lyme disease. So, like, all of my mental facilities, as far as how they used to be, have gotten muddied and muddled with like silicone and nanotech now, on top of like having to watch heavy metal poisoning and all the other purging aspects to Lyme. Now I am like a fake RoboCop cyborg with myocarditis shot into me because I thought tetanus shots were a sacred cow and that they wouldn't put mRNA into tetanus shots, but no, they think that we're silicon-based life. They think that they're batteries. They think you're a battery, so they think they can inject cancerous silicone inside of humans. Anyway, so that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're up against. The Pluto healing that wound that was created by assholes misinterpreting the Astro and creating transhumanism, like Sir John D. But yeah, like these are really good trines, and the sextile, the Jupiter-Uranus sextile, that's in the 9th house, Neptune, but it's also the house of career. Where Neptune is, I think, as far as the solar. Yeah. From what I remember. Yeah. That's crazy. So yeah, I have it on their chart, so I can double check in a little bit. But the combo of the sextiles with the trines, that's super good. Good luck. So yeah, you got Mars, Jupiter, Algol, Uranus sextiling over to Neptune, Neptune sextiling over to Pluto as well, and Pluto sextiling over to the Moon. The Moon Sagittarius. Man, I love Sagittarius and fire moon. I love all fire moons, especially Aries. Like, it's almost Aries and Sagittarius almost too much sometimes as their sun sign. Like, they're just too much. Like, but as a moon, like, I fucking love them as moons. or I just mean in the chart when it's actually when it's a Aries moon and a Sagittarius moon, they're my favorite moons. Like, the funnest times ever. They get you all psyched up. They get you motivated and like very creative. So today was really like a plotting, like almost war strategy day, but more all your values and your life, like choice and purpose, and very almost Chiron-y day, because it's like everything. Jupiter cycles are the twin cycles. Inside, like, trick here. So you're going to have run-ins with people you knew in 2012, because that was the last time Jupiter was in 2012. I already have. So yeah, back to 2012 era, people might be reconnecting. It was a big cycle. Jupiter and Gemini is so fun. You do so much exploring, but just like Jupiter's a good salesman and really meanders. Mercury, lead with the Mercury. Like, lead with the Gemini aspect. Like, Gemini's good for logically keeping things on task neutrally, and still being fun. So really lead with the Gemini in Jupiter and Gemini. Wrangle the over macrocosmic like nature of Jupiter. So you're going to want to just reel it back. So this will be transitioning from like a phase of like healing and value progress that we've had, like psychological self progress, value of self, like worth and currency. Like, you know, more your value, or and even like things as simple as like negotiating rates and pay and all that stuff. It's going to be better now and like more accurate and honed than ever this next week leading up to that. But yeah, I'm just advising everybody dealing with love stuff, like, it's got to move into a new cycle. So your twin stuff could be leaving, or like the entire nature of that will be absolutely transforming into more communication based aspect, not so much fun and hedonism and delicious things and beautiful, fun, awesome things that are better than everything else. That's gone. So no more romance romantically, because we're going into war now. But this is where the communication will get really intense, and you kind of realize your superpowers of values will shift into like the communications fields, basically. Like the confidence that you got from that value of realizing your value now sort of is the jet fuel launching you into a Jupiter and Gemini, which will be maybe you'll have new twins or whatever the hell that means to you, soulmates, new groups, basically, new age of Aquarius groups, because Jupiter and Gemini is basically going to be the air that helps navigate this next age, the air, upcoming air now, and in the South Node being in Libra, basically is right as this shifts. Venus goes into the evening star, and we still have all this shit in the last solar eclipse in the South Node Libra zodiac, basically. So there's just a lot of air themes making massive age shift changes right now. So those are all the positive aspects, but these, like I said, I'll like schizophrenically say it really quick, like the Jupiter and the Venus and the Algol are having collective shifts, 11th house, but also twelfth house, solar, and Uranus and Mercury and Taurus are having 10th house shifts in the 3D, but also in the Taurus zodiac, 12th house. So it's also deaths and absolute changes and shifts and endings. Chiron and Mars are still in Aries. They're almost conjunct, which will be butt hurting. But yes, this is 10th house, but it's also 11th house, Aries, collective stuff. North Node, 9th house, but 11th house, Aries stuff. Neptune, 9th house, Saturn, 9th house, previous lunar eclipse, 9th house, but 10th house, Neptune stuff. Charlico, 7th house, Pluto, 7th house, Aquarius, but yes, 9th house, solar. And the sun, the moon, Sagittarius, 5th house. Oh boy. So you're going to feel emo about love. This is going to feel emo about love, like seemingly not going to be existing anymore in a romantic way that it was, not in this Jupiter Taurian way, because basically we're heading into Taurus in detriment, Aquarius age, and yeah, we're gonna have this mad cow disease, GMO, fake Bill Gates, eugenics, eugenics. I could say the other two. I could say the Klan. I could say the Nazis, but his family, he prefers to be called eugenicists or the racialists. That's what Bill Gates' family prefers to be called. So yeah, figure out where I was going with that. But anyway, those are the clowns messing around with your world right now. And as of everything I just said with the houses, the bad news, I said, there's some inconjuncts here. It looks like actually from Algol to Mars, there seems to be inconjuncts. Can't really tell. Kind of goes under there. It could be from Jupiter too. I don't know. Jupiter and or Algol or both are, yes, inconjunct. That is a strain. So there will be a strain between this Algol and Jupiter and Mars and Aries sort of confidence. So yeah, the end, you know, it's really the feminine falling into whatever. So yeah, I would think there would be strain between Mars and Venus that she's about to fall. That would make sense. And that looks like there's another. I can't see if those are connected, but it looks like the North Node is also in conjunct to Saturn, which sounds rough. Saturn in Neptune, 9th house, and the 10th house career. So yeah, be really careful at fucking work right now. I'm noticing if I'm just going in the wrong entrance at work, like, I'm new, like, everybody's looking for something to fuck you over at work. So just realize when you go into work, it's like you're having 2 strikes against you, even if you're the fucking MVP. Like, and you come in there, like, yeah, you know, not saying I'm an MVP, but I can be. I'm definitely not deserving 2 fucking strikes, though, as I walk in the door. Like, not that sort of bullshit. I don't deserve that. But, you know, you have to fight against that by being an MVP right now. So do that at work. Luckily, it seems to be panning out. Hopefully, I don't get unlucky again. Okay, so yeah. The moon in the 5th house in the solar. I guess it's the 7th, probably. Yeah. 7th house, justice, diplomacy. Yeah, there's a lot of big shit, lifelong stuff that's all shifting now. If you're in your 40s, like I am, your generation got skipped over and shat on like a million times. That's why you're called X, Generation X. And that's why Elon Musk's called X. And that's why the UN flag is a giant weird Earth with a big X across it, because we're all the fucking target. That's the trans. There's the trans, the big fucking X marks the spot target on all of us. So nature and reality, like, we're in our primes now. It's just going to overwhelm all these transhumanist shitbags. And that's why this is all happening. They're afraid of us. They're afraid to let go, even though they're fucking dying off like dime a dozen right now. Fucking. Okay, so two things I want to look at. There's the solar that I was just like mentioning. Let's look real quick at the planetary. This will be fun. This is new stuff I'm learning. Okay, so the sign depositor. So yeah, Venus, the planet is winning out. So the planetary hierarchy goes to Venus because the sun is in Gemini, Mercury's house, but Mercury is in Taurus, Venus's house. So I'm pointing out the planetary dispositor in the upper left, and like the logic. This is like the empath. Anybody's like an empath, I think like this stuff's gonna kind of make a little more sense to you, as far as like the psychology of like what planetary rulership stuff is and what it does. So that's the logic behind that. Sun is in Mercury's domain, Gemini, and Gemini's planet, Mercury, is in the zodiac of Venus, which is Taurus. So the planet Venus rules that out, and the moon is also in Jupiter. Sorry. The moon is in Jupiter's zodiac home, which is Sagittarius. That's the middle row up there. And that Jupiter is also in Taurus at the 29th degree, the magical degree, which means Venus is ruling Jupiter because Jupiter is in Venus's home zodiac. So that is two ways that Venus rules the chart. But Pluto is in Uranus's home of Aquarius. And Aquarius it's not at home in Venus, but it's mutual. It's got it's beneficial. I forget the term, but yeah, it's a mutual sort of. I hate to use this word, but everybody says this word, but it's wrong. But basically, see people say Uranus is the higher octave of Venus. I'm sorry, Mercury. Why are they? Now I'm confused. It's gotta be. Pluto is in Aquarius. Venus. It's in Taurus. I don't understand that one. All right, I'm just gonna give up on that one because I don't know depositors this well yet, I guess. But there is some connection between that Aquarius and that Venus up there in Taurus. It's also saying Mars rules the chart well because it's at home, and Neptune is at home and ruling the chart. It looks like, yeah, those three bad boys, Venus, Mars, and Neptune, are ruling the chart, but mostly Venus. And then the house, dispositor hierarchy, the moon is in the sun's house. So the moon is in the 5th house, and the sun is in Uranus's house. So the sun's in the 11th. Okay, so the sun's in the collective. Okay. Yeah, so the moon is in the 5th house, home of the sun, there on the left. The sun is in the 11th house, home of Uranus, right there. And Saturn is in Neptune. And that's where I'm lost again. Saturn is in Neptune. Neptune's in the what house? Neptune's in the 10th house, solar-wise. Oh, no, I'm getting confused. Anyway, that's how you start it. I'm just showing how to do what I know and understand. I'm still learning this stuff. So it got me some slack, yeah. But I do know that Venus rules. And that's what I'm most interested in, personally, is the planet. Not so much the house or the zodiac. So Venus, the love stuff, is, and the feminine, falling into her darkness of poopy pants and being emo and not having sexy time. So that's next. But yeah, and just to reiterate what, yeah, like Neptune, I was just spacing on. What? So yeah, it was 9th house. Okay, yeah, so Saturn was in the 9th house, and that's how it connected to Jupiter, because Jupiter Yeah, okay. Saturn in the 9th house. What's the 9th house home? Jupiter, Sagittarius, land, and Jupiter is in Taurus. 11th house. And 1st house solar. Is that one of those two? Oh. Yeah, 11th house and 12th house solar. So, yeah, that might be very, very confusing if you don't know houses or any of that stuff. But keep looking it up. Look up solar astrology, like I said. So this just Sun in Gemini, 2nd, 11th house, collective, humanism on the soul level will be like an identity shift. Moon in Sagittarius, emo like love feeling will really be like diplomacy and justice. Mercury, communication in Taurus about money and financial things and all those things, seems to be about the 10th house, but it's actually like a transformative, like spiritual age shift sort of change of what you view, how you view mentally and how you view value Taurus, Mercury, same zodiac, at least. Solar zodiac, transformation. Their ultimate endings changing. And Venus in the collective. So yeah, the collective change will shift. The collective value will shift as well of what they view as valuable. Mars, career, 3D, but it's really like the collective and how you're viewed, your image and stuff collectively, which Aries doesn't really think about. So that's going to be cool. And at the Uranian 17 degree. 29, Jupiter in Taurus. Yeah, collective view, but also transformation in what the collective is, even, and what value is, and what expansion is. All this is transforming to the collective benefit in the 3D. Saturn, 18 degrees Pisces, 9th house, higher learning, adventure, but it's really you having the higher learning adventure benefits your career because you're just leveling up to what you actually are, what you were always destined to be on a higher tier, in a higher learning scenario. Pluto in the 7th house justice, but it's diplomacy in the 3D, but it yields more adventure on the soul and higher learning on the soul. And the node, Aries, yes, same thing, higher learning, adventure, expansion, but it's like on the soul level, it's going to shift the whole collective of what those things even mean. South node, this is the poopy pants, like adding to the Venusian stuff, is the South node is in Venus's, and this this, like I just said, this whole new moon, or this whole full moon, is about being Venusian ruled and her going into shadow period. So this is communicating on the 3D, like Venus and the South Node and all Libran things could be communicating, but really on the soul level, that is to get love. Like you need to communicate and know what you want, and know your love language to get the 5th house South Node, past life understanding. So I mean, basically what this is saying is, in your past life, you overdid the love stuff, and focusing and talking about it. So now you just have to do that, but not give it equal and balanced input and energy, according to everything else in your chart as well. You just have to remember on the scales, ironically with Libra, to not give your South Node more than everyone else. And that's the lesson of the South Node. Chiron, also. You feel it and think it's all about your career, but really it's about you expressing yourself to the collective and what your goal is in humanity, your purpose for humanity. Your purpose for humanity is your career and goal. That's the difference. You are that thing that you're supposed to be. That's where the money is. And it won't even be money anymore. It'll just be like power and like value and like people giving you food. So then, or yeah, if you know what I mean. It just does an example. It's just an example of what could happen, and what it could look like, what this age could look like. So yeah, Chiron, part of fortune. I don't remember much about that. It just means it's like timing. So the Aquarius timing stuff is hitting your health, but psychologically on the soul level, it probably is because you need vacations and shit. like see time off, higher learning, do what you love, have Jupiter benefic versus Virgo E3D, like, oh, I need to be healthy and I need to restrict everything. Like, not so much. Maybe if you're just happy smoking your cigarettes, that's all you ever really needed in the first place. It was just that type of example. It's a bad example, but Vertex, I kind of don't know much about either. I just, similar to the MC, I think, like your career descendant, sort of. Vertex and anti-vertex, I need to double check those. But yeah, love, that's affecting your love life and on 3D, but it's really about diplomacy, frenemies. Sarah-C things, 6th house, very Virgo to begin with. It also will heal your transformative soul, sexuality, second wind, mini death, scorpionic house things. Pallas Athena, same thing, appears to be love life, but it's really family. Vesta appears to be deep and spiritual stuff, but it's really like your values on the soul level. And the stuff your butt heard about, right? And your, the previous cycles, or you're just thinking and you're stewing on. These are the themes emotionally, or at least this is physically. Communication and on the soul level, love. This is what you've been dealing with. And emotionally, higher learning and expansion, and Jupiterian things, but that is affecting on a soul level. It's changing your value and your career stuff. So that is going on. And yeah, Charlico is interesting. Charlico's at 17 degrees with Mars. And yeah, and Saturn kind of like an 18 degree. Oh, we got another 18 degree here with Vesta too. Interesting. Okay. Just look at the repeating numbers. Sometimes I get Charlico's Chiron's wife. So it's that role that supports that alternative sort of wounded healer healing stuff, kind of seeing the experimental mad like healer shaman person, and like being the supporting role for that. That'd be seventh house in the equal house system, but in solar. So yeah, the 7th house, diplomacy and justice, will have a 9th house, higher learning, Jupiterian, like expansion, vacation sort of aspect to it. All this stuff below, this is actually somebody's personal chart that their stars got stuck on it. So things that I think the collective will probably be into the 10th house, Eris, adding to all that Aries stuff and Chiron stuff. That's 10th house, 3D, 11th house, humanitarian and diplomacy. So the goddess of discord somehow has an effect on your career, but really it's on a soul level helping you, your social interactions, I guess, with the collective experiences. Sedna, that long transition at the 0 degree, I've said a bunch of times, it's going to have a humanitarian shift. So people have been saying stuff that this is like going to be possible interactions with sea life on a more like technological level. I've already been seeing things like people communicating with whales and them interpreting and finding out their language is more complicated than we realized. This is a very long way, like 1,000-year comet. So it's going to be very subtle with certain energies, but it's a very wounded feminine thing. And it's going into Gemini. with communicating the collective stuff, but it's also identity on the soul level. So that's going to be a very different, weird healing that will take a very long time to comprehend what that actually means. Interesting. You might have dreams at this period. If you have any planets orbiting Sagittarius 27 degree, I have my Neptune there, so I have weird dreams that seem to be sort of download portals or portal downloads from the galactic center or something. It just doesn't seem like my dreams, basically, long story short. It's things I would never imagine. So if you have any aspects to the galactic center and you're one of those people, it's going to hit your love life and diplomacy and justice. Things Libran. And yeah, like I said, finally with that algol down there, like algol always hits my chart. Don't let people in the community take your head. Don't let them flash evil at you and collectively embarrass you. And that will heal on a solar. This is a huge one. The algol. The fucking algol stuff is so important right now, especially right now, this week. Because it's switching into some dark mad cow disease, sort of mRNA, fake artificial version of Taurus for the next 6 years that we're going to be dealing with. So we're going to be healing this algol for quite some time now. I think this is a part of this shift, especially this year. So yeah, don't let evil, Perseus, Neptune, rapey a-holes envy you so much that they take your head in front of the collective humanitarian world, right in front of humanity. Don't let them do that. And you heal your soul by transforming that and having a death to that sort of energy. So you don't get hemmed in by madmen with agendas. Like, not even hidden agendas, overt, over-the-top agendas. That's what that algol looks like. And it's so over the top that you can't believe it. That you're mesmerized just by the right angle of the overtness creates a deer in the headlights that we need to heal and get over forever. We cannot be deers in headlights. We can be deers, but we're jumping over them headlights. All right. Okay, that's it. I think that's all of it. Sorry I rambled. I ate a brownie and I got a little introspective. I hope that's okay with everybody. I didn't even pull any rune cards. I shuffled and everything. Let me pull a rune card. Okay, let me pull a rune card for the divine masculine and feminine. Let me do that shit. Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. Oh, wow. I gotta get a blanket or something down here. This is too flat. Don't want no flat man. I'll get a towel next time. So I don't read my shuffles by shuffling. I do it by Reiki. Little secret. You can pull only one card this way. So, message to the divine feminine. What are we gonna get here? Divine Feminine. Dig. D-A-E-G. Day perched 24. Dig. Daylight defines our world, splitting all into the illuminated and its shadows. Daylight holds no judgment, it just shines, treating nothing kinder or harsher. Looks like the Libra scales or a time sand thing sideways, or some runes. Daylight dawns and dies down daily, a rolling rhythm, unremitting, greeting the moon as dusk drops and ascends. Daylight still illuminates shadows purged by the moon's reflective face. Everything's endlessly tripping the light, the fantastic. 24 day purged. I can feel that one. The feminine needs to get out in a bikini and in the sun and purge that toxic coward masculine that ain't cutting the mustard, right? Usually. But, you know, they're just always on another page, right? That's just the nature of the beast. That is the journey. So yes, here we go. I was just talking like true self. The right-handed. So the right hand card. Hey.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just took some NyQuil. I'm about to head to bed.
Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah.
Do you think you can remember to turn this on for me when you're
done? Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
I'm almost done.
You can just do more dry and leave everything where it is.
Cool.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, I did. I got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very structured, very organized, Virgo-y, Aquarius roommate. Works well for me. Much more honed and organized than I am. Remembers everything. I forget everything. Okay, so, okay. The masculine, this makes a lot of sense. And the Saggy, Jupiter and Saggy, like self-delusional, kind of like riding. Let the good times roll. Let's, maybe a little too cocky for the times, but this is a part of the whole time capsule thing that I was talking about. This archetype of the good old days. After this week, there'll be no more of the good old days. We got 56. Fucking Jupiter and Taurus. Mars and Aries. Sort of card. 56. Vain. Weathercock. Fluctuates. So, yes, the masculine is very rapey, like I said, right now. And that algal story is very Neptune-y, very Perseus, almost a repeat of algal and this Jupiter story. So yes, the deep, the hidden, the strained, those green dotted aspects I talked about on the chart. Oh, just these babies. Well, it even looks like Neptune. Vain. Neptune's rapey wiener that he pulled out on Medusa. Poor girl. Sorry. I'm just being factual. No need to offend. But yeah, look how it looks like that Jupiter glyph. Like the Neptune glyph. That's what I'm saying. And the rooster, it's the year of the rooster, reminds me of yeah, I'll tell you what. What is the rooster from the Warner Brothers guy? Yeah, him. I'm spacing on his name, and I love it. I love his name too. Okay, so yeah, between Uranus, seemingly, or algal, there's a strain in conjunct quincunx there between Mars, and then Mars also, or the North Node over to Saturn. That is this little red rooster, Jim Morrison, like a-hole, having too much beer, like getting a bottle of like Jack Daniels being smashed over his head by Janet Janis Joplin, and Jimi Hendrix bashing him overhead with his guitar at the same time. If you've ever heard that story, that is this story right here. So yeah, the masculine, like, we need this. Yes, we'll never remember this sort of masculine again, I don't think, but this is the end of his age. So this is changing, and how do we use this? We can use this. We can use Zeus and cocky rooster Jim Morrison. We just gotta not have him so much booze. So let's read what Jim Morrison has to say here. Great poet on the optimistic side. 56. The weathercock knows not which way to blow, so it flutters while the next fool mutters and spins on a pin with all the flags and hues of others' views flapping in the wind. Dressed, obsessed, and oppressed by the liveries of any thoughts but your own. Exit the influence of others. Weather the changes of thought by using love as your compass. Be yourself socially. Brave out life alone. Move to a new place in town where you don't know anybody. That's the biggest one. I got Jupiter and Neptune. I got Neptune and Uranus in Sagittarius. This reminds me of this. Because I moved all over the place, and I've been to towns. But I've like really never been to a place where I didn't know anybody. I've never done that. And that is like probably when I'll be happy is when I do that. Something like that. My toxic saggy masculine shit. That would be advice for my soul. Probably. Okay. Yeah, and stop giving a shit about what other people think and feel, and all of it. Don't give a fuck about what others anything. Never, ever focus on anyone else. They all suck. Seriously, fuck everyone else but yourself. Fucking fuck them in the fucking dumb, Too much of that. Yeah. in a way safe for grandma. Fuck those fucking clowns, right? Okay. The DM. The one and only. All right. I got more cards here. So that's what I got out of that is the DF, take a vacation, go to the beach, and let the DM play with his little red rooster. Or whatever. Or just have fun. Just know what this age is all about and that it's changing, and just enjoy the age of love. This is the last love experience you're gonna have for probably 6 years, as far as it resembling what it used to. It's gonna become something. It's gonna become something totally airy, Gemini. It'll just be about, oh my God, I don't even want to imagine how ridiculous it'll be Hunger Games for sure. Love Hunger Games on social media. Who can survive the Love Hunger Games? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't want to be that pessimistic. I think it'll just be everybody will just like not all the energy of useless romantic ideals will be grounded in practical pragmatism, and people will just be like, oh, can you talk and communicate? Well, okay, let's form a family unit. So that was Reiki pull. That was a Reiki pull of okay. That was a Reiki pull of runes. This will be tarot pull. We'll get one for the F. Okay, this is the Algol and the Neptune and the Saturn and the Pluto and Aquarius sort of combo, but 5 of Pentacles. This is the Venus going into shadow. This is the Venus going into shadow and focusing on the poopy pants. But it's more just that sad feeling that comes with absolute change. So it's so much change, transformation of value, that it automatically has the consequence of sadness. Just, you gotta make a void and detach for the whole new age of Aquarius, new value shifts to occur, basically. So that is the DF energies. See, when I pull this stuff, I identify with both. So that's why I call myself my own twin flame, because it's both sides of my hemisphere brain, I feel. Just the magnetism, it's the Reiki magnetism of the universe that I'm pulling in. And the DM. Yeah. As far as chemistry on the masculine side, it's still Page of Wands. Like, that's also part of the feminine shadow sort of let down, because the DM side is showing up. It's just even at its best and arriving on time ish, as late as possible, as late as possibly can arrive, and insultingly at the lowest possible level, but it still showed up. So the cycle has moved forward out of Taurus, but leaving Taurus in the value world. The masculine has like 3 levels to catch up, basically, to the DF in the value department. Like, the masculine feels, maybe rightfully so, like a page value, because this is such a radical transformation into this is a feminine age shift, and Pisces was supposed to, but it was hijacked. So this is another chance for another feminine age shift, and that's why the masculine fought it as hard as it possibly could until now. It's at this point where it lost as much as it possibly could in the cycle. It's starting at the lowest possible position, because, like, in life cycles, it fucked up in the last cycle. So it made it, but it just didn't slowest to learn, unfortunately. But whatever, it's made it. It's a new shift. So the age of Gemini will probably be all about, with Pluto in Aquarius, they're all about communicating PTSD, EDMR, like therapy, and light therapy, and fixing trauma from like an age that they're trying to force us back into, another violent age. But we've healed, like, being a warring culture pretty much, and they keep throwing it back into that. But that's what the Page of Wands is going through. And I shuffled 159 cards with 3 jokers. These are just deck playing cards, but I shuffled them. So I'm going to pull one more. So for the feminine, Six of Spades, Six of Spades is clubs is wands, diamonds is pentacles, hearts, so spades is clubs, or is pentacles. 6, I got a Tito's. What was the name of the dog by Tito's side when he started the distillery? Dog Joe. We celebrate her and all our four-legged friends with our Vodka for Dog People program. Visit Vodka for. So what I get out of this is dog, the loyalty, the symbolism of the dog. It's a 6. I also get Virgo, the 6th house. Dog, as in, I also get Virgo, as in the dog star and Odin, who are Virgo-y like characters, archetypes, I'll say. So 6 of Pentacles. I don't really remember. Oh yeah, it's reciprocity. Oh, holy fuck. Yeah, okay. It's the 6 of Pentacles. I remember that one. Okay, so yeah, you're going to not only be getting your reciprocity, you'll be dealing out reciprocity. So you'll be distributing value to everyone. So you'll learn more about how to recognize that. So the feminine, that is your random tarot pull. I used Reiki again. I don't fucking leave things up to chance, you know. Let me try this again, but with the DM. And the masculine gets the fucking Fool card. The Joker. Trying to get it perfect, but looks like I'm not gonna. So it's a king and it's a bunch of jokers. Frankly, it's no better or worse than any other form of government. So it's a king with a bunch of jokers. And how appropriate for the age shifts and the time that we're in now. The Fool card. I mean, I love the Piscean, like Uranian aspect to the Aries, Mercury and Aries aspect of the Fool card. It's the Aries energy is paradoxically a fool in that it didn't think anything out, but it's also first, and that's all that matters. So it's not a fool at all. It's the smartest one because it knows if I just get there first, at least in this world, in reality, the tortoise loses to the hare as far as publishing and like credits and those things go. The rabbit gets there first, and it may sleep and lose the race, but it doesn't matter. It's getting royalties. The tortoise might have won some like sort of like spirit award, like badge, but the tortoise emotionally with the 90 like sympathy of like the crowd, but like the Joker ass magician Aries, Mercury and Aries, they get the legal rights to everything and they retire. Like they may be fake or whatever, but they won the game. Like they won the game. They may have lost the race, but they won the whole fucking game. Okay. So that's like why the masculine wound is there. Because they know through the PTSD of reality that cheaters prosper. Like being real doesn't matter. Just getting there and playing by those rules is what matters in this world. So that is having some sort of healing and sort of shift and transition. So that's it. That is the card reads. That's the Astro. And I totally forgot to even play any music in the band. And as I close out, I'm going to do that. I hope you enjoyed very much. I'll play some. This is Threshold of Insanswanner. I'm going to play this guy on the he's a friend of the studio. We'll make music for him, and I'm hoping to have like all the scores. Thank you for joining me, and I'll have him lead us out here.